In the cuts, there's like
Yeah, we need
different
to do
places.
some outtakes here, and there's like just shuffling of people around.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cliff Season. Today I'm here with Big Dog Ben Matera and Kimbo Slice Benson. The Red Bull Cliff Diving 2025 schedule just dropped. We got Philippines, we got Polignano Amare, we got Bosnia and Herzegovina, and we got Boston. So we thought we would do a tier list ranking of every Red Bull cliff diving stop ever.
Everyone.
Every single one.
Kim and I both should have taken our meds before this.
All right, so let's get right into it. First off, what's our first one, Ben? We got La Rochelle, France.
Personally, I think
it's pretty cool.
this stop is iconic.
It's like
It
super
is.
cool. Like it
And
looks so sick.
They haven't been able to go back because I believe no place for a women's platform.
Damn.
But I think it's super iconic.
Has the record for largest crowd ever.
It
for
does.
that.
It does.
I would go A tier.
I would go
Yeah.
A tier. What are we deducting here for?
I think
Yeah.
it could be prettier scenery.
Okay. Next we have Leuvenhaven, Netherlands. Don't quote me on that.
I won't.
It was like off of a crane. I don't know. It was kind of gray.
I would give it C.
Yeah. I mean, if there's not pretty colors, I'm not for it.
And so, by the way, our ranking system goes from perfect 10 down to S, A, B, C. It stops at C because all of these locations have been very carefully selected. So there's not really going to be a single bad one on here.
Next we have
Dubrovnik, Croatia.
Oh fuck yeah.
Dubrovnik.
That's that one.
I mean,
There's-
I'm all for Croatia.
This one was pretty neat. I feel like nothing was really stand out-ish.
Yeah, it's very pretty. It doesn't have the aura.
It doesn't
that
have
some
the
of the
aura.
other ones have.
I just say put it at the B tier. You know,
Yeah,
you can't
B
really
tier,
go wrong
B
with
tier.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Antalya, Turkey.
This one for me is an S tier.
This one is so cool, and I also may be biased because I was there.
I'll have to take your word for it.
I think it's so pretty. The background with the mountains, the
True.
water, the cliffs.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. And as I got to dive there, I can say it really is pretty. I like that one.
First-hand account.
First-hand account, that one's a good stop.
There we go. S tier. First S tier.
Hamburg, Germany. I think this one is sick. It's off like a tall ship, no women's platform. I don't really know what we think about that. It's older.
Rude.
Ben's
Rude.
that's
Oh
like
my God.
no women's platform. Perfect 10.
Damn.
I didn't.
Damn.
There was no. I never said it was a good thing. I was just. I was just pointing
What's
out.
the implication?
I was
Okay.
pointing out. I was just pointing it out. I think this one is really cool. It's off a ship. I've never seen that again.
That is true. It's
Yeah, that's
One and
pretty.
only time
It's
off a
pretty
ship.
unique.
I would say S, but I'd be willing to compromise with A.
I would go A. I think.
A.
I guess yeah. I mean, scenery and background's not as.
It's not.
Yeah.
It could be
As
somewhere
cool.
more beautiful.
True.
But I like that it's
We'll put it
off a ship.
under France.
Cool.
All right. Next up, we have Sisikon, Switzerland.
So,
I like
Kim and I have both been there. I dove there. I thought it was super cool, insanely beautiful, and the water is amazing.
It's super blue.
Yeah.
The views do look stunning.
The views are really pretty, and they have like training platforms there, which is super cool if you
That's
know the
true.
right people.
Oh, misconnections.
Hey, you dove with me.
I would go S.
Yeah.
I think it has the culture and the reputation on the series to go S tier.
All right. Next up, we have Athens, Greece.
And I liked that this one was warm. The air was
This
warm.
is true.
The water was
You have to
warm.
take that into account.
That's a win. That is such a win.
It was very clean, right on the Mediterranean. I would
I
go.
go an A tier stop. High A tier.
I would go A. Yeah.
Probably
I'll
above.
go top of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, top of A.
Moving on to 2010, we got Yucatan, Mexico, diving into the cenote.
Oh, I bet that was so cool.
This one.
Yeah.
That looks
This one-
so cool.
This one has the aura.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Absolutely.
Obviously not like spectator friendly, but
Oh my god, but that is so
Can't really beat
cool.
that.
Like, where else are you gonna find that? Where else are you gonna dive into some cenotes?
I kind of think it gets top of S. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
I would also go
10,
top of S.
but-
Oh my god, it's so
Yeah, we
cool.
go top of it.
That to me is like, you're winning, like culturally, you're winning like views. It's too cool.
Next up, we got Kragerø, Norway. That's my best attempt at pronouncing it. I'm gonna say B.
I'm gonna say B.
I think
Because
Yeah.
it's just a good average stop.
It's still very nice.
It's still,
Don't get
yeah.
Don't get me wrong,
Don't
very
get me wrong.
scenic, but
It's probably cool.
It is probably
That
cool.
too.
Yeah.
we're going B.
Next, Yalta, Ukraine.
Okay.
Oh dang, what is that there?
Actually, that's kind of cool.
Believe it's a lighthouse.
Lighthouse-ish thing.
I don't know. I haven't seen too much of this one. It's hard to find the 2009 and 2010 videos.
Yeah, it's true.
So we were really just going off photos here. This one, I again would go B.
Yeah,
I think it's
well-
very pretty. I haven't heard anything that makes me think it has any special aura.
But it does have a lighthouse.
I'm gonna go B. Next we
Just
have Hilo, USA, which this was the
Hawaii?
first and only time that river cliff diving was in Hawaii.
The birthplace of cliff
The
diving.
birth.
Yes, this sounds pretty special, honestly.
Again, I really haven't seen any media from this one besides a couple photos.
However, Hawaii is beautiful and usually lush and green and blue.
And I feel like got some aura, you know, birthplace of cliff diving.
Definitely.
There's also so many good spots in Hawaii.
That is
They
true.
would not choose a bad one.
That is true.
So I would go
I go bottom A.
bottom A
Bottom A.
because we
Just
don't
lack of
have-
info.
Yeah,
We just don't have the
exactly.
information.
But I think it had potential. It may have been a perfect 10 and we just don't know.
Yeah, maybe we should go ask someone next time.
Maybe we should go jump that spot.
Maybe we should go jump that spot.
Next up, we got São Miguel, the Azores, Portugal. This one is a classic. They've been back many times.
I think the Azores are epic. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree.
think
This
that-
got all the aura for
I would
me.
go S tier for this one.
This one.
I go top of S.
Top of S.
Top of S.
I know
Yeah.
there's some sketchy. I've heard there's some like, sketchy rocks and things like that, and you have to push out. But it is so pretty, and it's like iconic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's cliff diving is jumping straight off the rocks, and
Yeah.
that has
Mhm.
some of the coolest
Yeah.
takeoffs.
Okay, next up we have Rapa Nui, Chile.
I think this is again kind of your just middle of a road cliff, you know, with the lack of media we have here.
It's also not off the cliff. They built a structure on top of a
On a
cliff,
cliff.
which is kind of interesting looking.
Again, classic workhorse of a stop. This is your bread and butter.
This is your
This is your bread and butter. This is where all those hard-fought serious standings points are coming from. I would go B tier.
B tier.
Me too, yeah.
What else is in Italy?
Oh yeah, it's this platform all the way over here.
Oh,
This was, I thought this was kind of
what?
sick
This
actually.
is
This
so
one's-
cool.
yeah.
It's like off a castle.
What?
I really like
Okay,
that.
that's so epic.
I think this is easy A tier.
I think it
Or
is.
low-key maybe S, to be honest. Well, it's probably a little cold. I don't know.
No, it's
Italy?
Italy.
Yeah.
Italy can get kind of warm in the summer.
Maybe bottom S.
Bottom of the S tier.
I think it's.
I think above. Well, you think above Turkey?
I think above Turkey.
Yeah, I mean it's got a castle.
Yeah, it's got a
Okay,
castle.
we're going S tier right above
S
Turkey.
tier, right above Turkey.
Starting off 2012, we have the qualifying event in Katai, Australia. This one, platform off a cliff next to a golf course.
Just your usual bread and butter, maybe even
Less than
even
bread-
C tier.
less than
I mean,
bread
to be
and
fair,
butter.
This was a qualifier.
Right.
It wasn't even a main event, so I think it's fair to put this in C tier.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Next up, Corsica, France. I don't like that. Someone else do it.
You got it.
Next up, Corsica, France.
I would again say this is a bread and butter stop.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
know.
workhorse. It looks very pretty. I haven't seen too much media about it.
It does look nice though.
It does. I'm gonna go.
I would go,
Top of here.
yeah,
Top
high
of B.
High B.
Yeah.
High B.
Yeah, you see people like sitting in the water. That's usually a good sign that it's
Yeah,
like,
it's
nice.
warm. You know.
People want to be outside there, so it makes you want to dive a little bit more.
Next up, we got Grimstad, Norway.
Ooh, it's foggy.
Mm.
Whoa.
I think this one is super cool.
Foggy as
The
fuck.
fog is insane.
Yeah, that gives it some. That
Some
gives
aura.
it some
Gives
lore.
it some aura,
Yeah.
but it also makes it probably hard to dive.
Probably.
I mean, you can see the crowd showed up for this one.
True.
That's
you see all the
true.
boats there.
That means your big audience, big energy.
And the Norway's always pretty. I feel like this is bottom bay.
I would go low
Yeah.
A too. Yeah. Innismore, Ireland up next. This one's a banger. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yes,
This one.
this one is
crazy.
a banger. Okay.
This one's crazy.
Like there's like no doubt that this one is a banger. This is pretty extreme. You're diving into like a little square cutout in a cliff.
But it
Into the
formed
rocks.
entirely natural.
Yeah.
It's an
entirely naturally formed, perfect square that you're diving into.
It
That's so
honestly
sick.
is like so sick. This has aura. You know, I mean it's Ireland, it's cold, but I feel like this for me is top of S. it's touching 10.
I would
Yeah.
agree. I'm the exact
We're
same.
saying top of S.
Top of S, or
I think this might
are we
be,
going up? I don't know. I haven't been there.
I don't know if I want to put it above Azores though.
Azores probably got the nice warm weather that this doesn't have, and it's like super unique, and it's got those like, you know,
Unless we want
cliffs like
I would
that.
be okay maybe putting Azores at 10.
So right under Azores.
Because I mean, does it get much better than Azores?
Yeah, like
If
should
we're
we
being
put
honest.
Azores in 10? Because I feel like it's really true cliff diving.
That's true.
And will it get
It's
better?
straight up cliff diving.
Will it get better? I don't know.
Like you are like scaling the rocks on the side of a giant cliff. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, we're amending our.
We're amending our
amending it.
judgment. Azores
Push it up.
is now a perfect 10.
10.
With Ireland in our top of S.
Top of S, yeah.
Next is Pembrokeshire, Wales.
I had no trouble saying that one.
What is that supposed to mean?
Right.
This one is giving The Hobbit, and not just because it's called Pembrokeshire. I think this one's neat. I don't know, what do you guys think?
I think it's cool.
Yeah,
Top of B, mid B.
maybe top of B. It's got some cool like different kind of look to it.
It
I'll put it
does
right
have
below.
a very unique look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say right below this phrase.
Okay,
I
yeah.
would be good with that.
Yeah.
Finishing off the 2012 season, we got Wadi Shab.
This one was pretty wild, honestly.
It was.
That's looking
It's
wild.
like in a canyon.
I wish there was more media from this one because I think
Yeah.
I think it would really bump it up. I think what's holding it back is the fact we haven't seen too much of it.
Yeah.
What?
But it's like in this canyon.
Oh, is this?
For me, that's an easy S tier.
That's an easy S tier.
Oh my god! Wait, I think I remember seeing. There's videos here, I think, right?
There
was this
are,
the
yeah.
season finale?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it was. Yeah.
This one's cool. I remember actually seeing the videos of this one.
Like,
This one's so cool.
All in agreement with an S tier here.
Yeah,
Here, yeah.
absolutely.
Next up, Copenhagen, Denmark. You just got another. I don't know if that was a museum or an opera house, but
It's kind of just the same as like Boston, but in
Yeah.
a different country.
Boston, Oslo.
So this one, it's off a very cool building, lots of spectators, which is great.
It's like contemporary cliff diving. You know, it's not like
Yeah, it's not really like raw cliff diving. It's not giving that like.
it's not. It doesn't have that aura.
Yeah.
You know.
For me, they always get bonus points for being out in nature.
Yeah.
Out in the wild. Yeah, this is
I'd
not
say
in the wild.
low B.
Krabi, Thailand.
Abby.
This one was an insane event. It was an 8-dive super final from 4 locations.
I remember watching
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
For me,
That's-
this one is a perfect 10.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
wanted to jump
Yeah.
in Thailand for so long. It's probably my dream spot. So
Our second perfect 10 of the video.
starting off 2014, we got Havana, Cuba.
First and only time that they've been to Cuba.
Thank you, Ben. Ooh, that's kind of cool.
I think that's kind of got some aura. you
Yeah.
know? Lighthouse in a fort. I'd say it's a solid 8.
Yeah, I'd say if it's got like, you know, some cool
But
architecture.
below Hamburg.
Yeah.
For me, it's a
Okay,
B.
we'll compromise.
Yeah.
I'll say bottom of it.
yeah. I'm good with that.
All right. Next up, we got Possum Kingdom, Texas.
I honestly think this one was sick. They need to go back. Like the cliffs are like red.
Yeah.
It's great out nature. It's warm.
One of the largest water crowds of all the stops as well, which is really cool to just dive in and then you come up to the surface and all the fans are right there with you.
Yeah.
Didn't they set a record for like the most cliff divers off a cliff at a time?
I think so.
I think they set a record there. So like it's a huge cliff. Like that's so cool that
Yeah.
you could just have a bunch of people jump off at one time. That's probably pretty special.
They've also been back to this one many times, so that kind of adds to the overall impression for me.
I think they need to go back again though, because it's
I
better.
agree.
Yeah, I think they
I'll
should
go-
go back.
S tier.
S-
S, bottom
yeah.
S.
I would go right above.
I like that.
Mouse's
Yeah, behind Sisicon.
Next up, we have the Cali Columbia qualifier.
What is
C
this?
tier. C tier.
This one looks a lot like a World Aquatics event. It's,
C tier.
C tier.
it's
This-
C tier.
scaffolding into a pool.
Into
Come
a
on,
pool.
C tier.
Next we have Cartagena, Colombia. Another workhorse stop.
It's not doing it for
You
me.
know, not really doing it for me.
Kinda
It's
just
not
looks like
C, but you know.
a port.
Yeah, I'd say bottom of B.
Alright guys, next up we got Shirahama, Japan.
For me, it's A. I like the cliffs. I think it's very pretty.
It's hard to tell from this photo,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I mean, it's hard to have a bad cliff stop, you know, but I'd
It's
say
natural.
bottom of A.
Bottom of A.
And there's like a big crowd there.
Yeah.
And it's Japan.
Next up we have Dubai, UAE.
the only night stop ever.
I know the divers had mixed feelings about this one.
But as a spectator, ranking it as a spectator, I'd say S.
I think it has to be S.
I'd say
Yeah,
S.
as a
I'd say
spectator.
high S. This one is Lago Ranco, Chile.
Ooh.
I know for a fact it was freezing cold,
But there's a waterfall.
there's two waterfalls.
Two
The
waterfalls.
waterfall's got aura. You can't.
Waterfalls.
You can't.
You can't deny that.
This is easy high A, maybe low S.
I think this is
Low S.
bottom of S.
Bottom
Just
of
based
S.
on aura.
Waterfall.
Waterfall.
Yeah.
Waterfall.
There's also
that's
series
so real.
finale, which does add something for me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. Dublin, Ireland. Let's go. Got some red and white off of Lighthouse, I think.
Red and white?
It's blue and white.
Blue?
Yeah.
Guys, don't fuck with me here. This red.
That's
It's
blue.
so not.
It's so
Are you
blue.
serious?
Okay, so Kim was going to eye doctor.
Kim just went to the eye doctor.
Yeah. Unless you want to put Columbia down to C, I'd put this bottom B. But I think this is better than Columbia at least.
I
I
do
agree.
agree it's better than Columbia.
There's like more dynamic scenery. That's just kind of.
Do we
I
want to
can't.
keep this in B or drop Columbia to C?
Drop.
Let's drop Columbia.
Drop
Okay.
Columbia.
McDublino, Ireland, B tier, bottom of B.
Bottom of B.
Next up, we got Beirut, Lebanon.
This one's pretty sick.
I give this A.
Dude, they had to take a zip line
That
to
is
get to the
true.
stop.
I'll go high A.
High A.
Yeah.
Or were we thinking? I think maybe.
Honestly-
I'd say maybe top of A.
Top of A. Dude,
Yeah,
that's-
you know, I agree with that.
Saint Raphael, France.
This is definitely an S for me.
Yeah, that's
Um,
iconic. The
I
red
mean,
rocks.
The Red Rocks. You're in like the south of France. It's warm. All the boats are there.
But it wasn't it the first event after COVID?
Also true.
Also
So that's
true.
special.
Yeah.
That gives it a little something.
I say it's S tier. Maybe
Maybe like
low
bottom.
S.
Bottom of S.
Maybe.
Personally, I think it's
They did
high
have a
A.
they did have a cliff dive. That's also like off the
True.
cliffs dives super
I
important.
mean, I guess
to
if
me.
we're looking at this compared to Lebanon.
I would go A below Lebanon.
Okay. Next we have Oslo, Norway.
I think we should call in our Oslo expert.
Yeah.
Hey, Oslo expert.
Introduce yourself. Who are you?
My name's James Lichtenstein. I jump off cliffs for fun.
Which event did you win?
Oh, I won Oslo.
And where do you think it should go?
Perfect time.
Makes sense.
The math is mathing.
It is a cool place. The longest platform ever out of any tour stop.
Is it longer than it is tall?
It is.
Yeah,
30
it is.
meters long, 20-some meters tall.
All right.
Also
So
a
what
good-
makes it so good? I want to know. Other than
yeah, I
other
mean-
than winning.
That was the one I won, so that's why.
It does get a really good crowd every year, and it's off of a beautiful building. I know we have been tough on the urban settings, but
Is it nice and
if
stable?
there's one to be nice to, I think it's this one.
We should have gotten Gary on to do this. He would have known it all.
That's
You-
actually
you would've
true.
been like-
That would actually be. Maybe we'll redo it with Gary.
Yeah.
Alright, glad I could help.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, Oslo expert.
Straight on to Ballycastle, Ireland.
Was that the one with the big waves?
That was yes.
It
That
was
was the
big
one
waves.
Carlos did arm stand straight off the cliff.
He did arm stand for every dive, if I'm not
That's
wrong.
actually true. I would go.
High A, mid A.
Yeah, I'd say
I
it's
agree.
an
It's
A.
an
Yeah,
Here.
A. Yeah.
I'd say there.
Yeah.
I'd say there.
Okay.
I would say that's one of the ones that I remember well.
Yeah.
It stands out to me. Right, Paris, France.
I mean, the view is pretty immaculate. You have to say that.
True.
It was just a built tower,
And it's just into the
and the Seine is
the
disgusting.
river. The river
But-
Seine.
Year before the Olympics in Paris,
True.
trying to get ourselves in there. I think that's huge for the
Didn't
sport.
happen, though.
Bumps it up a little bit for me.
Didn't happen.
This can find its way in A somewhere.
I would say
I'd say
um,
lower A though.
We'll sneak it in right there.
A. All right.
Yeah. Right.
Next up, Sydney, Australia. Down Under.
Down under.
Featuring the Thunder from Down Under. Our good friend, Chris Bednar.
Season finale in 2022.
Seems like a very fun event every year, and
Yes.
a great crowd for sure, which bumps it up quite a bit.
And
it's
the Opera House was in the background.
true, we don't have it in this photo, but it was right in sight lines of the Opera House.
The Sydney Opera House.
I would say this one is low to mid A.
I think I have to say low A.
All right, next up we got Takachu, Japan.
I actually got to dive there, and it was Honestly, it's probably the coolest place that I've ever dove.
This has aura for sure.
Yes.
I wanted to go
It
here.
was like a sacred river or something like that.
Didn't
it-
you guys have to do some ritual?
Supposedly the birthplace of Japan in Japanese Shinto mythology, so we had to get blessed by a Shinto priest in order to dive into it. And we were the first people in like modern history ever allowed to go into that water, which was super cool. I would say the only thing holding this back is there is absolutely zero room for spectators. Like even athletes and coaches were having trouble just watching each other.
But this is like,
Aura alone, this is like high S.
this
For
is
me, I would say perfect 10.
perfect
I was
10.
gonna say perfect 10 as well.
Perfect 10.
No hate, but I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Next we have Auckland, New Zealand. We have our New Zealand local with us.
Our Kiwi.
We saw a lot of stops like this last couple years that they're built towers. They're in kind of like a harbor or marina.
Like New Zealand's got some cliffs. I mean, I understand like Auckland, you've got an audience, it's the season finale, but it doesn't really give me any of that like, you know, crazy adrenaline, cliff diving, you know.
They don't know what they're talking about.
They-
You weren't there, man.
I mean, I'll give Brad a final say, but I'd say maybe bottom of the
Yeah, I'd say so.
I would say so, yeah.
It's like an
It does have the very nice city skyline in the background. We had a great crowd as well.
Next up, Causeway Coast, Northern Ireland.
They did have a cliff
I was
round.
gonna say they did have,
They had two
Two
off
off
the
the
cliff
cliff.
rounds.
like we know how cool Ireland could be,
Yep.
and this just wasn't that for me. This is B tier.
Yes.
Yeah. Next up, we got Montreal, Canada.
I believe this was the first stop in Canada. I would be surprised if they don't go back. They did a huge crowd here.
Yeah.
They did. Brave Gang showed up for real.
It's also cool, set up off of a crane.
I like how they didn't just do their normal built tower.
Exactly.
They did like
Yeah.
this crane setup.
Something
Um,
different. It is still like kind of harbor, you know, kind
Yeah.
I would go
Industrial.
The views weren't crazy.
I would go high B.
Yeah, I'd agree with
of,
that.
yeah. I'm just like not a fan of the industrial
I
stops.
think
Now that we have everything else out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and do the 2025 stops that are coming up for this year.
if I'm not mistaken, they have been to all these stops before. But let's get right into them.
So first up, El Nido, Palawan, Philippines.
Let's go. This stop, you guys. Perfect 10.
I would agree.
Perfect 10.
Perfect 10.
Beautiful,
Perfect 10.
warm, off the cliffs,
Off the cliffs.
spectacular scenery.
It's got the blues, it's got the greens. Like this is actually the first cliff diving videos I ever watched. Ever. This is what made me want to do this sport. I saw these videos and I was like, that looks beautiful. How can I do that?
I think probably my favorite stop of all time, if I'm being
Really?
honest.
Yeah.
And
honestly.
that's how we're kicking off the 2025 season.
All right. Next.
Polignano Amare.
This is such a historical spot. They've
It's
gone
iconic.
so many of the years. It's always packed.
They have a balcony dive. They literally met some people, some locals who have a balcony they have like a 20 meter and a 26 meter, I think. And it's part of the first round, which is so cool.
So for me, this one, beautiful, there's cliffs, amazing crowd, amazing for the athletes. I could go perfect 10 as well for this one.
It's got the
This is one of those like
Like it's
one of the historical spots. You got the aura.
synonymous with Red Bull Cliff Diving.
Yeah.
It is.
It's one of the ones to look forward to every year.
Next up's Mostar. I've been to Mostar. It's iconic. Super cool diving off that bridge.
It's got a history, rich history.
It's got a rich history. Very iconic, very historical. It does have aura, I will say that.
Yep. It's also got the training platforms now.
It does. And I feel like we can't hate on water so much. That hasn't really been like the highlight of, we've mentioned it once or twice.
Right, right.
For me, this one, high A, low S.
It has the
Back
aura,
up.
it has the history, and diving off that bridge was one of the coolest things I've done in my entire life.
Also, just the culture with the locals. The locals love it as well.
Yeah.
They're all jumping off that bridge on their own time.
Yeah.
It's iconic. People go there simply to jump off the bridge.
I'd say bottom S.
Last up, we got Boston.
We've all been to Boston.
Shipping up to Boston.
I got to dive there as well in 2024. I think it's a very cool place. The crowd was amazing.
It is kind of building a history now.
And people
Overall.
like to like spectate. Like I've seen a bunch of people like post on social media from like different buildings, like, oh my god, look, there's people jumping off.
It is very cool. All the surrounding apartment complexes, people are out on their balconies, out on the roofs, office buildings, watching through their office window.
Yeah, like literally just at work one day and you look out your window and there's people jumping off the building next to you.
I think it's low A.
I would say low
It
to
finds
mid
its
A.
way in A.
Yeah,
I
it
think
does.
maybe above Cuba.
Yeah,
Overall, I'd say I'm pretty good with this
I'm
class.
satisfied. Yeah, I'd like it.
As we can see here, I mean, they really average A, and we were just being picky, you know.
Right.
In a vacuum, these are all still fantastic stops.
So looking forward to 2025, we are starting out with 2 perfect 10s, and then we're moving on to an S, and then finishing with an A. So this season is going to be insane. I think everyone's going to be battling it out because each point is probably twice as valuable as last season.
It's going to be like cutthroat, especially with only 4 stops. Like you can't afford any mess ups.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Follow Kimberly S. Benson on Instagram. Follow Ben Matera on Instagram.
And follow Braden Rumpet on Instagram as well.
And subscribe to the channel. Peace.
We did it!
Damn, that was an hour.
Oh my god.